Okay, good evening, everyone. Okay, I was discussing about the unit and dimension section. Unit and dimension section consists of two main categories. First one is unit, the second one is dimension. Puta. In unit section, we have discussed about what is a physical quantity, then what are the classification, what are the classifications of physical quantities. There were several ways to classify physical quantities. Then we have discussed about prefix. Then we have discussed about unit conversion. Unit conversion. This is very important part. Unit conversion. That is very important part because there may be a lot of mathematical questions regarding unit conversion. Therefore, you should clearly understand about unit conversion. Then unit conversion. Other units. What are the other units that can be used instead of SI units? Okay, those are the things we have learned under the unit section. We have defined physical quantities, then we have categorized physical quantities, then we have discussed about prefix, then we have discussed about unit conversion and classification. So some other physical quantities that can be used instead of SI units. Those are the things we have learned under this section. Okay. Then what about dimension? In dimension, we have discussed about, actually we have derived dimension of derived physical quantities. No, I think you should do it again. You should do it again because you have to remember some certain physical quantities, especially some physical quantities. Some physical quantities we have discussed again and again, especially force, then pressure, then what about work done, energy, then power, then special physical quantities about such as frequency, then about angles and angular physical quantities, especially angular momentum, angular speed, angular velocity, such kind of thing. We have discussed about those kind of things. So I think it is better to derive those kind of physical quantities again and remember their dimension. Otherwise, you can remember the formula. Either method you can use, but you should remember either the dimension or the formula. Otherwise, you cannot answer those kind of questions. Okay. Then we have discussed about how to determine the dimension of unknown physical quantity in a given formula. Okay. That is the most important thing in this section. How to determine the dimension of unknown physical quantity. How to determine the dimension of unknown physical quantity in a formula. Okay. In that case, we have discussed about certain factors to be considered in dimensional analysis. What are those factors? The first factor, we have discussed about that thing. What is that? If we consider an equation, each and every term in an equation should have same dimension. That is the first factor. No, each and every term in an equation should have same dimension. Then we can do addition or subtraction. We can do addition or subtraction between same physical quantities. Same physical quantities. We cannot add two different physical quantities. We cannot add or subtract two different physical quantities. So if there is an addition or a subtraction, the combined physical quantities should have same dimension. That is a subcategory of the factor 1. Then we have discussed about power. No, power. If there is a power, the power should be a number. Power should be a number. Number doesn't have a dimension. It doesn't have a dimension. That means dimension is equal to 1. So if there is a power, of any base, that power should be a number, Puta. That power should be a number. Then that part doesn't have a dimension. The first factor is equation, no? This one. A plus B equals C plus D. Then dimension of A should be equal dimension of B, and dimension of C equal dimension of D. That is the first factor. That is the first factor we have discussed. Then we have discussed about the power. A to the power x or something. So if there's a power, power should be a number. Power should be a number. Then dimension of x should be equal to 1. That means x doesn't have any dimension. So if there is a expression, as a power, if there is an expression as a power, the total expression doesn't have a dimension. Okay, something like this: b to the power ax than c, ax plus c. Now there is an expression, Puta. There is an expression in here. There is only one unknown figure, no? But in here there is an expression, entire expression as a power. Okay, so if there is an expression as a power, the total expression should be a number. The total expression should be a number. Then this part, ax plus c part, should be a number. Other thing, you have to remember, if it is a number, then ax is a number and c also a number. Okay, those kind of thing you have to remember. Then the third one, logarithm function. No, logarithm function. So if there is a logarithm function, it also a number. Therefore, if there is any expression, as a logarithm function, that expression doesn't have a dimension. Okay, that is the third part. Log function. Ax plus b, that kind of thing. Okay, so within a logarithm function, there should be a number. So this part should be a number. That means, Puta, ax plus b, the expression doesn't have a dimension. That means it is a number. So if it is a number, the separately ax should be a number and bx should be a number, because according to this factor. Because if there is an equation, every terms in a particular equation should have same dimension. So we can add or subtract same physical quantities. So if it is a number, ax should be a number and bx should be a number separately. Okay. Do you remember that thing? Then again, actually, you might be remember these factors. You might be remember these factors, but the thing is this one. You have to combine two factors, especially factor 1 and others. Factor 1 and others can be mixed, okay? Can be mixed, can be combined. Therefore, there may be some questions may combine these two factors. Okay, there are two other factors, no? So every factor can be combined with the factor 1. Factor 1. So the factor 1 is very important thing. What is that? We can add or subtract same physical quantities. That is the one. That is a factor 1. Okay. So other thing is, if there's an equation, the every terms of the equation should have same dimension. That is the basic idea of the factor 1. So factor 1 can be included in any other factor. Okay. ඒක හොඳට මතක තියාගන්න factor 1 එක ඒක තමයි දරුණුම factor එක වань. Okay. Then fourth one. What is the fourth one? Trigonometric functions. Trigonometric functions, no? So if it is a trigonometric function, the inside the trigonometric function, this part should be an angle. Should be an angle, Puta. Due to that reason, as this is an angle doesn't have a dimension. Angle doesn't have a dimension. That means this part doesn't have a dimension. This part doesn't have a dimension. Okay. Actually, there are two categories. There are two subcategories. The first one is the inside part. The inside part. Actually, the inside part is an angle, Puta. Due to that reason, it doesn't have a dimension. Okay. But there's another thing. What is that? The entire trigonometric ratio. The entire trigonometric ratio. So if we take a trigonometric ratio, Puta, every trigonometric ratio is a ratio between two lengths. So every trigonometric ratio is equal to the ratio between two lengths. It is equal to the CB or something. Every trigonometric ratio is a ratio between two lengths. That means if we apply dimensional analysis here, L to L will be cancelled out, then trigonometric ratios may won't have a dimension. Okay. That means the entire part doesn't have a dimension. What is the reason for that? The reason is the entire part is a trigonometric ratio. The trigonometric ratio is a ratio between two lengths. Due to that reason, a trigonometric function doesn't have a dimension. Okay. Therefore, if we take a trigonometric function, there are two subcategories. What is that? The inside expression and the entire expression. the inside expression and the entire ratio, entire trigonometric ratio. Those are the two categories. The inside expression doesn't have a dimension due to it is an angle. The entire expression doesn't have a dimension as it is a ratio between two lengths. Okay. Those are the things you should remember in unit 10 dimension section. Sorry. Sorry for that. Okay. Do you have any questions to ask? Do you have any questions to ask regarding the theory part? Theory part එකේ මොකක් හරි question එකක් අහන්න තියෙනවද? That is the theory part. This theory part will be asked in your exam, okay? There is another one. I forgot that thing. Building an equation between the given physical quantities. If we are given some physical quantities and we have to and we are asked to build a relationship between those physical quantities, then we have to determine the power of that physical quantities. That question, okay? That question, that kind of questions will be asked in your exam. So those are the questions types to be asked in the exam. Okay, you have to prepare that thing. You have to prepare for that. Okay. Do you have any question? Any question to ask? Question තියෙනවද මොකක්ද? Shall we go for the tute then? You should do this. You should fill this table again. Okay, I think it is better. I think it is better because then you can remember some special physical quantities. Okay, you have to remember these relationships. Okay, not all the ones, but some very famous physical quantities. Okay, especially force, power, work done, energy, efficiency. You might know about these things. Okay. We have discussed up to question 31, Puta. We have discussed up to question 31. Then go for question 32. Today we are going to discuss unit and dimension tute, Puta. Therefore, if you have any questions regarding this tute, you can ask. You should clear every doubts within today, okay? 32. What is the answer? Response on you. What is the answer? Everyone? You can give your answers in the chat box, okay? Put your answers in your chat box. What is the answer for question number 32? 32. Then karan depa. Those are homeworks. Consider the following equation. Equation is given. K is a dimensionless constant, while F and G represent force and density respectively. If L is a length, which physical quantity would be represented by N? So we have to simplify this one. We have to, the first thing, we have to use dimensions, and we have to simplify the dimension of it. Okay. Okay. Look at the dude, Putta. Look at the question, Putta. N is equal to square root F over A D L squared. Actually, the dimension of K is 1. Dimension of K is 1. It is given. So, the dimension of K is, writing the dimension of K is not required. Okay. It is not required. That's why I did not write K. Then we are asked to find what is the physical quantity represented by N. So if you want to find the physical quantity, then you should find the dimension of N. That is the easiest way. You have to find dimension of N. So you have to substitute the dimensional equations for F, A, D, and N. Then simplify. F. What is the dimensional equation for F? F is equal M L T minus 2. Those kind of things you should remember. M L T minus 2. A is area, no? Yeah. It is not given, no? Sorry. It is not given. You have to correct that thing. A is an area, okay? Sorry. A is an area. A is an area. You have to consider the A. You have to consider the A as an area, okay? So it is an area. Therefore, dimension of A is equal L squared. D is a density, no? D is a density. Yeah. If it is a density means mass over volume. That means ML minus 3. ML minus 3. Then L is a length. So dimension of L squared is L squared. Now you can simplify this thing. How to simplify? Look at this. L squared, and this one we cancel out. No? If you simplify this thing, 2 and 2, 2 plus 2, 4, minus 3 means 1. 2 plus 2, 4 minus 3 is 1. That one will be cancelled out with the 1 in the numerator. So all the L's will be cancelled out. I did that one. So then M to M will be cancelled out too, no? M to M will be cancelled out too. The only remaining thing is T minus 2. So we have to take the square root of t minus 2. So n is equal then, if you take the square root of t minus 2, so it is equal, the square root means to the half power. The square root is equal to half power. That means t minus 1. T minus 1. T minus 1. The dimension of n is equal t minus 1. Then what is the correct physical quantity? Yes, fourth one. Fourth one. Number of times per second. Number of times per second. Number of times කියලා කියන්නේ ඒ කියන්නේ අපි නිකන් අර per second කරන per second නිකන් හිතන්නකෝ per second කරකන වට ගානක් හරි ඒ වගේ number of times per second. Okay, number of times per second. It is not a time, it is not a volume rate, it is not a velocity, and it is not an acceleration. So it should be number of times per second. Number of times per second. Actually, this is equal to the dimension of frequency, frequency. So what is the frequency? What is the frequency? Number of revolutions per second. Number of revolutions per second. That number of revolutions per second is equal to frequency. Okay. Therefore, this is equal to frequency. That means number of times per second. 33. Question number 33. What is the answer? Question number 33. What is the answer for question number 33? The specific heat capacity of a material can be represented by the following equation. A and B are constant and T is a temperature. The unit of A and B are respectively. In this case, you should know about specific heat capacity. I think you have done that in your orals, no? Specific heat capacity. How to find specific capacity? Can anyone tell me how to find that one? What is the specific heat capacity? The specific heat capacity. C equal A plus BT square. C is a specific heat capacity. So what is the specific heat capacity? What is the specific heat capacity, Putra? How to find that one? Can you remember the equation? Can anyone remember the equation related to specific heat capacity? Can anyone remember? No? The specific heat capacity. Can't you remember? Oral physics.
Q equals MC theta.
Very good, very good, very good, very good. Thank you, Puta. Q equal MC theta. So what is Q? Q is equal to heat energy. Heat energy. So Q is measured by joule. As it is an energy. Q is an energy. Therefore, it is measured by joule. M is a mass. So it is measured by kilogram. C. I need to find the unit of C. Then theta. Theta is temperature difference. temperature difference. Therefore, it is measured by Celsius or Kelvin or any temperature scale. Okay. In this case, I can use Celsius because all the temperature values are mentioned in Celsius. Celsius. Okay. So if I subject C, then I can write, I will have joule. I have to bring kg to right hand side. That means kg minus 1. Then I have to bring Celsius to left hand side. Then it will be Celsius minus 1. So the unit of C is equal to J kg minus 1 and C minus 1. Okay. Then again, now you can go to the factors in dimensional analysis. So as you know, if it is an equation, all the terms in that equation should have same dimension. According to that argument, C and A should have same dimension. That means they should have same unit. Therefore, unit of A should be equal to units of C. Unit of A should be equal to unit of C. Okay. Therefore, I can remove only the answer number 1. All the others are equal. No, I can remove the answer number 1, but all the others are same. No, all the others are same. So I cannot get any advantage from that. Then the second part, Putta. According to the same argument, this part, that means BT square part, should be equal to C. This one should be equal to C. That means B times T squared unit should be equal to this one. J kg minus 1 Celsius minus 1. Okay. Then you can simplify this. You can substitute the unit of T. If I substitute the unit of T, I will have Celsius squared equal joule kg minus Celsius minus 1. Now you have to bring C squared to here. Then it will be minus 2. Minus 2 and minus 1 is equal minus 3. Then my answer would be answer number 2. Fifth and second answers are the same. Yes. Both answers are same. Therefore, answer number 2 or answer number 5. Both are same. Then 34. Consider the following equation. This is our last factor. F is a force, X and T represent displacement and time respectively. The dimension of D over B. Sorry. You can use your mind and take the answer. You don't want to write anything, any pencil sketch in your book, okay? D or B. So what is the dimension of D? Tell me quickly, what is the dimension of D? Dimension of D. How to find dimension of D? What is the dimension of D? Dimension of D. What is the dimension of D? Yes, very good. You know, DT is an angle. DT should be an angle. Yes, yes, answer is correct. DT is an angle. Therefore, D should be equal to T minus 1. T minus 1. T minus 1. T minus 1. Then B. So what is the dimension of B? B. The same argument. BX is an angle. BX is an angle. Therefore, B should be equal to the reciprocal of X. Reciprocal of X. That means L minus 1. So B is L minus 1. D is T minus 1. Therefore, the ratio should be equal to T minus 1 over L minus 1. L minus 1. That means L T minus 1. Answer is 4th. Answer is the 4th answer. I will
Excuse
do
me,
it.
sir.
Okay, Buddha. I will do it. Okay. Oh.
So here A and C both had dimensions.
A and C. Ah, very good question. So, what is the dimension of A? What is the dimension of A? Tell me. Can anyone tell me what is the dimension of A?
ML T minus 1 minus 2
ML
T minus 2.
T minus 2. ML T minus 2. It is equal to the dimension of force. No. It is equal to dimension of force. No, Buddha. Look at this. I will explain it. F equal A cos bx plus B sin dt. This is my equation. This is my equation. See, ne? See. According to this equation, you can clearly see this part. This part should be angle. This part should be angle. Therefore, dimension is equal to 1. Dimension of E is equal to 1. That means just think in your mind, bx equal to 1. Bx equal to 1. You can put dimensions lately. Bx equal to 1. If bx equal to 1, that means B is equal to the reciprocal of x, no? If bx equal to 1, B should be equal to the reciprocal of x. Then you can apply the dimension. That means the dimension of B should be equal to the dimension of the reciprocal of dimension of x. That means B should be equal to L minus 1. L minus 1. L minus 1. Therefore, dimension of B is equal to L minus 1. Because x is a displacement. So, dimension of x is equal to L. Then we can bring that to the upper side. Upper side means the numerator. Then it will be L minus 1. The same argument here. Dt is an angle. Dt is an angle. So if it is an angle, the dimension of dt is 1. That means dt product. Actually, there should be dimension, but don't put dimension. When you are dealing with your mind, just think dt is equal to 1. If dt is equal to 1, d is equal to 1 over t. 1 over t means 1 over t means t minus 1. T minus 1. So d is equal to 1 over t. T is a time. T is a time. Therefore, dimension of t is capital T. So dimension of t is equal t minus 1. T minus 1. Now we are asked to find d over b, d over b, d over b. So d over b is equal, d over b is equal t minus 1 over L minus 1. T minus 1 over L minus 1. So we can bring L minus 1 to the numerator, then it will be L plus 1. So there is no any m value. That means the power of m is equal to 0. So this is equal to m to the power 0, L to the power 1, t to the power minus 1. As there is no any m value, I can write it is equal to m to the power 1, because it is equal to m to the power 1 is equal to 1. Then the answer is the fourth one. Then your answer, your question. What about A and C? A and C. As you know, this part doesn't have a dimension. As you know, this part doesn't have a dimension. Then the dimension of A should be equal to dimension of F. No? Because according to factor 1, each and every term should have same dimension. No? Each and every term in an equation should have same dimension. Therefore, this entire part should be equal to F, but this part is equal to 1. That means A is equal to F. A is equal to F. That's why the dimension of A is equal to dimension of F. Same as in C, dimension of C should be equal to dimension of F, because sine dt doesn't have a dimension. Do you get my point? Do you get my point, Puta? තේරුණාද පුතේ? Do you get my point, Puta? Everyone. Thank you. Question number 35. Question number 35. So what is the answer for question number 35? Question number 35. Dimension of K. So what is the answer for dimension of K? කලබල වෙන්න තු එක හදන්න. 35. So what is the answer for dimension of K? Question number 35. Look at this. Y is equal A sine omega x over V minus K. So what is the answer for question number 35? Can anyone tell me the answer? Question number 35. Hmm. In here, x is a displacement, Puta. Displacement. X is a displacement. It is not given, no? Suppose x is a displacement. That should be given. X is a displacement. Hmm. හොඳට බලා ගන්න question number 35. කලබල වෙන්න එපා. කලබල වුණොත් වැඩි වරද්ද ගන්න question එකක් ඔක. 35 එක. Question number 35. Look at this. Look at this. Okay. 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 Someone can think like this. Okay. Someone can think like this. Okay. Look at this. This is the mistake you can do. Okay. Look at this. You can think this is an angle. This is an angle. So we can add or subtract. We can add or subtract same physical quantity. Then K should be an angle. Then K should not have dimension. No, that kind of thing can be assumed. Before that, Putha, you have to expand this one. This is not the only part. This is not the only part within this trigonometric function. This is not the only part within this trigonometric function. Okay, so I cannot say K is an angle. I cannot say X over V is an angle. Okay, for that you have to expand this one. If you expand this one, you will have sine omega x over v minus omega k. Omega k. Then definitely this is an angle, this is an angle. That is correct. Definitely this is an angle, this is an angle. Because within this trigonometric function, now this is the simplified format. Okay. But before that, this is not the only part within the trigonometric function. There is omega. There's omega. Therefore, we have to multiply the entire expression by omega. Then we will have two angles. Then you can apply this one. This one doesn't have a dimension. This one doesn't have a dimension as it is an angle. Therefore, the dimension of K should be equal to the dimension of 1 over omega. 1 over omega. If you remember the dimension of omega, then you can apply. The dimension of omega, omega means angular velocity. Dimension of angular velocity is t minus 1. T minus 1. T minus 1 means you have to take it to the numerator. If you take it to numerator, the power will be positive. The answer is t. Answer is t. Okay. Okay. That is one method. That is one method. There's another method. Without expanding this thing, I can do the question. Without expanding this thing, I can do the question. How to do that? In this method, I have expand this to product. Then, what was my argument? My argument was this is an angle as it is in a sine in trigonometric function. Okay. Okay. So there's another method. Without expanding this thing, I can find the value of k. How to do that? How to do that? As I said earlier, the factor one is the most important factor in the dimension analysis. You should remember it again and again. You should remember it again and again. The factor one. There are two subcategories in factor one. The factor one, you should remember that too. So what is the factor one? If there is an equation, each and every term should have same dimension. That is the first subcategory. The second subcategory is in the factor one is we can add or subtract two same physical quantities. We can add or subtract same physical quantities. මන්තරේ වගේ ජප කරන්න ඕන දෙයක් ඒක ඇත්තටම factor 1 කියන්නේ most important factor එක පුතේ. හරිද? මොකද අපිට ඒකෙන් ගන්න පුළුවන් බොහොම ලේසියි. It is the most shortest method. Okay. So I can use factor 1. What is the factor 1? So according to factor 1, I can subtract two same physical quantities. That means k should be equal x over v. K should be equal x over v. K should be equal x over v. Actually, I am equating dimensions only, okay? Dimensions. Don't misunderstand this one. K is not equal to x over v. The dimension of k is equal to dimension of x over dimension of v. Actually, this is the correct one, okay? The dimension of k should be equal to dimension of x over dimension of v. But I did not use dimension symbol because this is an MCQ. This is an MCQ question. This is an MCQ question, so I don't want to waste my time. That's why I use k is equal x over v. Okay, but someone can misunderstand that thing. Okay, this is not a numerical equation. This is not a numerical equation. This is a dimensional equation, puta. Dimensional equation. So k is equal x over v. So I can put the dimension of k, x and v. Dimension of x and v. Dimension of x is a L because it is a distance. It is a displacement. Dimension of v, it is equal to LT minus 1 as it is a velocity. So L to L will be cancelled out. Then we will have the same answer. T minus 1 in the denominator. So if I bring that to the numerator, it will be plus 1. තේරුණාද? Thank you. That is 6. Thank you, Buta. That is 6. What about 36? The dimension of k is actually again there's a mistake, not dimension, unit, okay? The unit. What is the answer for question number 36? Okay, here C is a velocity, rho is a density, and we should find the unit of K. So what is the easiest method? So we have, anyway, we have to subject K, no? We have to subject K, otherwise we cannot find the dimension of K. So if we want to subject K, we have to square the both sides, because K is inside the square root. K is now within a square root, no? K over rho. So it is inside a square root. So if you want to subject K, you have to take the square. Take the square of both sides. So C squared is equal K over rho. Then K is equal rho into C square. Now you can substitute the unit of each physical quantity. Rho is a density, rho is a density, so its unit is equal to kilogram per cubic meter. C is a velocity, no? C is a velocity, so we have to take C squared. That means the velocity ms minus 1. If I take the square, we have to take the square of this. We have to take the square of this. Then we can simplify this one. Kilogram m minus 3. If I take the square, it will be m squared s minus 1 into 2 minus 2. Then this is equal kilogram minus 3 plus 2. Minus 3 plus 2 means minus 1 and s minus 2. S minus 2. Answer is fourth part. Answer is fourth part. In 37, there should be another correction. Instead of lambda, you have to replace it by h. In answer number 1, it should be lambda g. Sorry, not lambda. It should be h. Okay. Doesn't matter. You can get the answer, but the correct equation is not with lambda. What is the answer? What is the answer for question number 37? 37. Okay. Others? If the density of seawater rho, the gravitational acceleration v, so g, the wavelength of surface is lambda, and depth to the surface. the wave speed of surface. Wave speed. In this question, we are asked to find what is the expression that is equal to speed. Speed. No? We are given 5 answers. Among those 5 answers, what is the expression that is equal to velocity? So how to find that one? You have to use dimensional analysis. You can substitute dimension of each answers. No, substitute dimension of each answers and just calculate and check whether it has the dimension of velocity or not. That is the only way. The first one, G lambda or GH, both have same dimension, but the correct one is GH. So if I replace dimensional values, if I replace dimensional value of GH, look at this, GH. In this case, we have to replace dimensional formulas for each and every answers and check whether it is equal to the dimension of velocity or not. So what is the dimension of velocity? The dimension of velocity is LT minus 1, no? That thing you should remember, the dimension of velocity, LT minus 1. So you have to substitute dimension of G and dimension of H and take the square root and check whether it is equal to this one or not. Okay, let's find that one. G is an acceleration. It is given. G is an acceleration. So if it is acceleration, the dimension of G is equal LT minus 2. And H is a distance, so the dimension of H is L, the square root of all of it. L to L will be not cancel out, will be added, no? Will be added, and the simplified answer is L is squared T minus 2. If I take square root, I have to divide both powers by 2. That means L 2 over 2 means 1. 2 over 2 means 1. That means minus 1. It is easy, no? The first answer is equal to the dimension of velocity. If it is equal dimension of velocity and I am sure about my calculation, then definitely I can reject question number B, answer number B, because in this case H is in denominator. In here H is in numerator. The second answer is H is in denominator, so it cannot be same. Then fifth answer can be rejected because it is equal to the square root of this one. So square root of this one is not there, so fifth one should be rejected. Then what about others? Third and fifth one. Actually, I can reject the third one and fifth one at once. What is my argument? At glance, I can reject the third answer and the fourth answer. Why I am saying that like this? Look at this again. Look at it again. Okay. once I read the question, and at glance, I can reject the third answer and the fourth answer. What was my argument? තක්ගල් කියන්නේ කොහොමද මම එක කරේ? මෙන්න මේවා තමයි පුතේ shortcuts method දෙක නිසා හොඳට අහගන්න මම මේ කරන විදිය.
Because it asks about the speed.
Yes, answer about speed, but why I reject this one? You know, if it is a speed according to dimension of speed, according to dimension of speed, there isn't any m value, no? M mass value, only L and T, no? According to dimension of speed, there is no any m value. So my answer should not have m value. Should not have m value. Look at this. Look at these answers. Look at these answers. Both answers have density. Here density, here again density. If it is a density, then definitely there should be a m value. There should be n value. But that m value won't be cancelled out, no? Because G and H doesn't have m's. G doesn't have m. Therefore, the m value of rho won't be cancelled out. Won't be cancelled out. Therefore, definitely, if I simplify these two answers, I will have a m value. I will have m value. Okay. Fair run. So at class, I can reject those answers because I don't want m value. I don't want m value because I'm going to find LT minus 1. LT minus 1. And here, there's no any m value. Do you understand how I reject that one? Everyone, I need to respond. Do you understand? Thank you. Others? Others? How about others? Do you understand how I did this thing? Okay, thank you, Buddha. Okay. The removing method. Look at this again. The removing method is very important thing. Okay. In your exam, you can use that method, Putta. You can use that method because using that method, you can select the most accurate answers among the given answers. Okay. It's a very quick method. Other thing is, it is very quick method. Question number 38. Question number 38. Look at the question number 38. So what is the answer? Again and again. Factor 1. What is the answer for question number 38? Question number 38. Okay, look at this equation. Look at this equation. Yes. Yes, answer number 2. Look at this equation. According to this equation, P is a pressure, and this one is added to P. A over V squared is added to P. That means according to our factor one, that means if there is an addition or subtraction, both physical quantities should have same dimension. That means P and A over B squared should be same. Therefore, P should be same to A over B squared. This is a dimensional equation, no? Okay, not a numerical equation. Don't think P is equal A over squared. Okay, it is not like this. It doesn't mean like this. Okay. Then P is a pressure. Now you can substitute the unit of each physical quantities to find the unit of A. P, pressure. P is a pressure. If it is a pressure means force over area. That means the unit is Newton per square meter. Unit of P is equal A over square of unit of V. V is a volume. It is given. V is a volume. If it is volume, the unit is meter cube. No? Unit is meter cube. M3. So M3 is square. So you have to square. You have to multiply 3 into 2. So A over M, 3 into 2 means 6. Just subject A. Now subject A. If I subject A, you have to multiply M minus 2 by M6. M minus 2 by M6. Minus 2 plus 6 means 4. So Newton meter. That means the answer number 2. Do you understand? I need your response, Pata. Do you understand? Thank you. Thanks, Pata. 39. Consider the following equation. Now I need your response regarding this equation. Tell me. Consider the following equation. Here is equation. Consider following statements regarding the above equation. What about statement A? The unit of CT. Look at it again. The unit of C times T and lambda are equal. What is your opinion? Is that true or not? Statement number A. Is it true or not? I need your response. True. Others? Is it true or not, Puta? Yes. Others? So what is the reason? How did you get that answer? You are saying it is true. So how did you get that answer? What was your argument? Tell me. The units of CT and lambda are equal. Is that true? Yes, good.
Since it's an angle, it should be dimensionlessness. So it should be 1. So since 2 and
Yes. Very good. Thank you. You can clearly see there is an angle within sine value. What is that? 2 phi CT over lambda. 2 phi CT over lambda. 2 phi CT over lambda is an angle. So if it is an angle, it doesn't have dimension. That means dimension of this one should be equal to 1. Dimension of this one should be equal to 1. Dimension of this one should be equal to 1. And I know dimension of 2 phi. Dimension of 2 phi is equal to 1 because it is a number. So number doesn't have dimension. So dimension of CT, then 2 phi is 1. So I don't want to write that one. Then dimension of CT over dimension of lambda is equal to 1. That means dimension of CT equal dimension of lambda. That is how I calculate this thing. But you don't want to calculate this thing. Okay? Just think like this. You know, this is an angle. Look at this. You know this is an angle. If this is an angle, now think as a dimension. Now think it as a dimension. Okay? If it is an angle, this one should be equal to 1. No? This one should be equal to 1. If it is equal to 1, the upper part, that means numerator, should be equal to the denominator. The numerator should be equal to the denominator. That means CT should be equal to lambda. Do you understand how I get that term? I just think this one is equal to lambda. This is equal to 1 because it is an angle. This one is equal to 1 as it is an angle. Therefore, I just equate the numerator and the denominator. Because if the numerator and denominator are equal, the answer is equal to 1. The answer is equal to 1. Do you understand how I did that calculation? This is the ordinary way. This is the conventional calculation and the longest calculations, but I did not use this one to solve that problem. I thought this part should be equal to 1. This part should be equal to 1. That means the upper part and lower part should be equal. Upper part and the lower part should be equal. That means CT should be equal to lambda. CT should be equal to lambda. Okay. Then B, statement number B. Is that correct? Yes. Others? Statement number B. Yes, we can use the same argument. We can We don't want to consider 2 pi because the dimension of 2 pi is equal to 1 because it is a number. It is a number. So I don't want to consider the dimension of numbers. So you have to consider the dimension of x and lambda. X and lambda only. X and lambda only. So this part is equal to 1. If it is equal to 1, the numerator should be equal to the denominator. That means x is equal to y. X is equal to lambda. X is equal to lambda. Okay. Everyone, I need you to respond. Did you understand? Did you understand? Others? Did you understand, Puta? Everyone. Thank you, Puta. Thank you. Third part. Third part. Is that true? Is that true? Third one. Third one. Very good. Yes, as I mentioned you earlier, look at this. As I mentioned you earlier, this part is a trigonometric ratio. Therefore, it doesn't have dimension. This part, it is a trigonometric ratio. So it doesn't have dimension. Then, what is the remaining part? Remaining part is y and a. Y and a. 2 also a number, so it doesn't have a dimension. No? 2 also a number. No? So the remaining part is y and a. Y and a. Therefore, the units of y and a are equal. Therefore, all these statements are true. All the statements are true. So the answer is answer number 5. Answer number 5. Then, what about question number 40? Question number 40. What is the correct answer? Question number 40. Here, there's another mistake. Not a mistake, but it is not given. You have to consider the proportionality constant is equal to 1. Proportionality constant K is equal to 1. That should be given, but it is not mentioned. You have to correct that thing, okay? Proportionality constant should be equal to 1. That means f is equal a to the power a, b to the power b, b to the power c, b to the power c. As the proportionality constant is equal to 1, I can write f is equal a to the power a, b to the power b, and d to the power c. Then the next step is substituting dimensional formulas for each physical quantity. Dimensional formula. Substitute that one. F is a force. F is a force, so this should be equal m L T minus 2 minus 2. Then A is given. A is a area, no? A is a area. A is area. Area means L squared. Therefore, L squared A to the power A. Then V. V is a velocity, puta. V is a velocity. So if it is a velocity, the dimension of velocity is L t minus 1 to the power B. D. Density. Density means mass over volume. Mass over volume is M. L minus 3 to the power C. To the power C. How to simplify this one? How to simplify this one? You don't want to simplify this one. How to take the answer? How to get the answer at once? Now you can get the answer. After writing this step, you can get the answer without any calculation. How to do that? ඔගොල්ලෝ හොඳට තේරුම් ගන්න පුතේ මම මේ කියා දෙන shortcut methods. හරිද? ඕගොල්ලෝගේ කරගන්න ඕනේ මේ shortcut methods ටික. හොඳද? මම අයදත් කිව්වා වගේ මතක තියාගන්න අපිට කියා දෙන්න පුළුවන් හැම ළමයාටම අනේ ඔක්කොම හොඳට ප්‍රෝ වෙන විදිහට step by step කියා දෙන්න පුළුවන්. හරිද? මම එහෙම කියන්නේ නැත්තේ එක හේතුවක් උඩ ඕගොල්ලෝගේ මයින්ඩ් එක ට්‍රේනින් කරගන්න ඕනේ. තේරුණාද? මම step by step කියා දෙන ඕනේ හැම ළමයෙක්ටම. හැබැයි අවශ්‍ය තැනදී විතරයි. අවශ්‍ය තැනදී විතරයි. අනවශ්‍ය තැන් වලදී මම කියන්නේ නැහැ. හේතුව නැත්නම් ඔයගොල්ලෝ කවදාවත් ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ මයින්ඩ් එක ට්‍රේන් කරන්නේ නැහැ. මයින්ඩ් එක ට්‍රේන් කරන්න මම හැම වෙලේම කිව්වා මොකක් හරි තේරෙන්නේ නැති තැනක් තියෙනවා මගෙන් එක වෙනම පැහැදිලිව අහන්න වෙනම අහන්න. හරිද? එතකොට මට වෙනම මම එයාලා මට කියා දෙනවා. හරිද? හැබැයි මම shortcut methods use කරනකොට පුතේ හොද්දට ඒක understand කරගන්න try කරන්න. හරිද? මොකද ඒක අතිශය වැදගත්. මම ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේ කියන කතන්දරේ මම ඔයගොල්ලෝ තේරෙ ටික කාලයක් යද්දී මොකද within 2 minutes අපි හදන්න ඕනේ question එකක් within 10 minutes හදලා තේරුමක් නැහැ. තේරුණා? ඒක මම කියන්නේ. හරි. Okay. Let's go to the question. After writing this step, you can take the answer. You can get the answer at once. How to do that? Can anyone tell me? What is the answer? And how I get that one? What is the answer? Yes. How to get that one? Answer is correct. Without doing any single calculation, you can get the answer. After you writing this step, without writing any calculation, you can get the answer. How to do that? Look at this. Look at this. You can see there is only one t. There's only one t that is here. That is here. No? The other physical quantity doesn't have a t value. No. Therefore, the only t value has velocity. Therefore, the only t value is here. And I know the t value. I know the power of t value in left hand side. Therefore, I can take the I can assume the value of b, no? At first, here it is equal to minus b. Now it is equal to 2 minus 2. So minus b equal to minus 2 means b is equal to 2, no? You can calculate that thing in your mind, using your mind. No? Minus b is equal to minus 2. That means b is equal to 2. B is equal to 2. No? Look at the answer. Look at the answer. Answers. There is only one answer having B is equal to. No? That is question answer number 1. All the other answers do not have that value. Do not have that value. Actually, I am very sure about this one. Actually, I have substituted all the dimensions correctly. I have substituted all the dimensions correctly. So, I am very sure about this thing. If you are very sure about this thing, then go for the quickest way. Okay. Minus B is equal to minus 2. That means B is equal to 2. Then you can check the answers. Oh, there's only one answer. There's only one answer. Then don't do other calculations, other simplification. If you want to do that, you can do. But the thing is, the simplest way is this thing. Did you understand how I calculate the thing? Did you understand? Everyone, I need your response. Did you understand? Did you get my point? Thank you. Others? Okay. Thank you, Buddha. Okay. For those who doesn't like to apply shortcut methods, then I can simplify this thing. Okay. Here, 2 times A, 2A, 2A. So L times 2A. Here, L times B, L times B, L times minus T, sorry, T times minus B, M times C, M times C, L times minus 3C, minus 3C. Then you can simplify this thing, 2A, B, and minus 3C. L to the power 2A plus B minus 3C. Then you can write T here, T minus B, and M minus M to the power C. M to the power C is equal M L T minus 2. Then you can equate the powers of equal bases. Powers of equal bases. If I equate the powers of M, power of M, then C is equal 1. C is equal 1. C is equal 1. Power of M. So in right hand side, left hand side, power of M is equal to 1. The right hand side, power of M is equal to C. So 1 should be equal to C. Then I can consider this thing B. If I equate power of T, the left hand side it has minus 2, right hand side it has minus B. Then B is equal to 2. B is equal to. Then I can equate the power of L. Power of L. In right hand side, sorry, left hand side it is equal to 1 Bhuta. The left hand side it is equal to 2 times A plus B means plus 2 minus 3C means minus 3. Minus 3. Minus 3. So this is equal to minus 1. Minus 1. If I take minus 1 here, it will be plus 1. So that means 2 is equal to A and A is equal 1. A is equal 1. So A is equal 1, B is equal 2, C is equal 1. You can do this kind of simplification, but it is not a simple way, okay? It is not a simple way. වෙන කරන්නම දෙයක් නැත්නම් විතරක් මේ වගේ දෙයක් කරන්න. හරි. Okay, everyone. Do you have any questions up to now? Do you have any questions up to now? Up to question 40. Okay. Then okay. Shall we do from question number 58 to 70? 58 to 70. 58 to 70 means there are 12 questions. There are 12 questions. So I will give you 25 minutes. 25 minutes. Within 25 minutes, can you do question number 58 to 70? 70. 58 to 70. Let's do the questions as quick as possible. 58 to 70. This question should be discussed before the exam. Okay. Okay, let's discuss question from 58. Okay. So what is the answer for question number 58? You can give your answer in the chat box. Okay. One. Good. Yes. Look at this. S equal C1 sin C2 C2T. Here S is a displacement and T is a time. The dimension of C1 and C2 are respectively. You can clearly see this one, no? This one. C2T. C2T. C2T is an angle. It should be an angle. S equal C1 sin C2T. Yes, as we discussed earlier, this one is an angle, this one is an angle. So if it is an angle, that means it doesn't have a dimension. It doesn't have a dimension. That means dimension of C2T is equal 1. Dimension. That means dimension of C2 is equal 1 over T. That means it is equal T to the power minus 1. T to the power minus 1. Then most important thing, this part is a sine ratio. So trigonometric ratio. So trigonometric ratio doesn't have a dimension. So this part doesn't have a dimension. That means C1, dimension of C1 should be equal to dimension of S. Dimension of S, which is L. Therefore, C1, dimension of C1 should be equal to dimension of S. That means L. Okay. Therefore, answer is first one, L and T. Yes. Without calculation, we can do this without calculation. Okay. I have explained this one because there may be a lot of students who watching recording. Therefore, that's why I have explained that this thing in board. Okay, in the board. Don't do anything. If you can get the answer without doing any calculation, go for that. That is very good. 59. Again, n is equal a plus b over lambda squared. B over lambda squared. Here n is a refractive index. Then lambda is a wavelength. Dimension of A and B. If it is refractive index, what is the answer? Yes. Very good. Okay. Again, in this case, actually we can use the factor 1. If it is an equation, all the physical quantities should have same dimension. Then other thing is we can add or subtract two same physical quantities. Okay. Then if it is a refractive index, you know the refractive index does not have a dimension. That means it's just a number. If it is a number, then A should be a number. No, it should be a number. This one should be a number. And this one should be a number too. This one should be a number too. No? Then we can do it without any calculation. No? So if it is a number, A doesn't have a dimension. A doesn't have a dimension. And if this one is a number, the dimension should be equal to 1. No? That means the numerator and denominator should be equal. Numerator and the denominator should be equal. That means B, dimension of B should be equal to lambda squared. Lambda squared means lambda is a length, square of length. Square of length. Okay. That means as n doesn't have a dimension, n doesn't have a dimension, A do not have dimension. Yes, very good. I didn't see that. Yes. If you can find the value of A, then you actually it is not necessary to find the value B, no? Because there is only one answer with this value. That is answer number 4. No? All the other answer, in all the other answer, A has a dimension. In all the other answers, A has a dimension. There's only one answer. A doesn't have a dimension. That is answer number 4. Very good. Very innocent. Okay. So we can use removing method here. We can use removing method. How to use removing method? The first thing we have to determine the dimension of A. That is very easy. It doesn't have dimension. It doesn't have dimension. Look at the answers. There's only one answer. There's only one answer. So all the other answers can be removed. Okay. Then question number 60. Question number 60. Okay. I will explain how to do this. Okay. How to do this. Therefore, n doesn't have a dimension. N doesn't have a dimension means the dimension of n and dimension of A should be equal to each other. That means A doesn't have a dimension. A doesn't have a dimension. And this term, that means the entire term, B over lambda square, the entire term should not have dimension. That means it should be equal to 1. Then the dimension of B should be equal to the dimension of lambda square. Dimension of lambda square. Lambda is a wavelength. Wavelength means a length. Length. Therefore, the dimension of B is equal L square. L square. The formula below is used to calculate the amount of energy absorbed or released during the calorimetry. MC theta. Here, Q mass. If the dimension of K, then the dimension of C would be. What is the answer? Question number 60. Answer for question number 60. Yes. No? Yes. Answer number 1. Answer number 1. No? Here, Q is equal MC theta. Q is an energy. Q is an energy. So dimension of energy is M L squared T minus 2 Then the dimension of mass is m. Dimension of mass is m. We have to find the dimension of c. This is the unknown factor. Then we are given the dimension of theta. Dimension of theta is equal capital K. Capital K. So if I simplify this one, m2 mp will be cancelled out. L2 here, and I can bring K here. Then K will be -1. So L is squared. If I bring K to left hand side, it will be K -1, and T -2 is equal dimension of C. Dimension of C. That means answer number 1. Answer number 1. 61. 61. What is the answer? 61. What is the answer? This is question number 60. 61. Yes. Yes, very good. Third one. Then cut your track. Good. Okay. The frictional force acting on a spherical object moving to a viscous fluid is expressed by following equation, where A is a radius and a radius of the sphere, and V is the velocity of the sphere. The dimension of K. Dimension of K. You can do this at once. How to do that? At glance, you can get the answer without doing any calculation. How to do that? The most easiest method. Short method. Look at this formula, Buddha. Look at this formula. F is equal, listen very carefully, F is equal K into A into V squared. V squared. If you remember the dimensions of all the physical quantities, then it will be very easy. Okay? Think using your mind. Think using your mind. On the mind, use V is a velocity. V is a velocity. The dimension of V is LT minus 1. LT minus 1, no? So if I get the square of velocity, then there will be T minus 2, no? There will be T minus 2, no? In left hand side, sorry, in right hand side, there will be T minus 1, T minus 2. T to the power minus 2 here. Look at left hand side. Left hand side, it is force, no? It is force. Left hand side, F is a force. So it has a T value too. It is equal to T to the power minus 2, no? In left hand side, there is a T value. It is equal T to the power minus 2. And right hand side, it has a T value. It is also equal to T to the power minus 2. So T to the power minus 2, T to the power minus 2 will be cancelled out because A doesn't have T value. Then the answer should not have T value. Answer should not have T value. Therefore, what is the answer? Answer number 3. All the other answers are having T value. No? Did you get my point? Did you get my point? Everyone, I need your response. Thank you. Okay, I will explain that. Look at this. The dimension of F is M, L, t minus 2, k, a is a length, v squared means lt minus 1 is squared, because it is a velocity. So if I take lt minus 1, here, sorry, t minus 1 into 2, means t minus 2 here and t minus 2 here. So t minus 2 to t minus 2 will be cancelled out. Then there won't be any t's, no? Then now you can simplify this answer, but you don't want to simplify this answer, there won't be any t value. L12 will be cancelled out. Then the answer would be ml minus 1, no? ml minus 1. Minus 2, no? Minus 2. Minus 2. Here 2, no? Minus 2. Okay. '62. The relationship between force, mass, and velocity. Force, mass, and velocity is expressed by the following equation. What is the equation? This one. Dimension of k. Again, you should subject k. I think it is very easy if you square the both sides. If you can get the square of both sides, I think it is very easy to simplify. After that, you can take the square root to find k. So what is the answer? What is the answer for question number 62? 62. Yes. What the? 62. Look at this. Here, V equal K into F over M. We are asked to find K. I think it is easy to get the square of both sides. If I get the square of both sides, V squared means L squared E minus 2 is equal K squared. Look at this. I have taken the square of V at once. Okay. K squared. F means ML T minus 2 over M is mass, no? M is mass. Yes, mass. Then mass to mass will be cancelled out. Then L to 1L will be cancelled out. T minus 2 to T minus 2 will be cancelled out. Again, K squared is equal L. That means K is equal L over L to the power half. Because if I want to subject K, I need K to the power Y. So how to prepare K to the power Y? How to prepare K to the power Y? I have to divide its power by 2. So I have to do the same thing to the right hand side. Divide by power by 2. Okay. Answer is 4. 63. 63. What is the answer? 63. 63. What is the answer? Yes. Very good. Fourth one. Others? The longitudinal wave velocity which is being traveled through a medium can be expressed by following equation. If rho is a density of medium, the dimension of T would be, yes, dimension of T. As we did it earlier, I think it is very easy to take square. Take square, 63. If I take the square, V squared is equal T over rho. That means T is equal V squared rho. V squared rho. V squared rho. V squared rho. Okay. At glance, you can see the answer would be either 3 or either 4. Either 3 or either 4. No? Here, T minus 2 here. Rho doesn't have T. Rho doesn't have T's. So, the answer should contain T minus 2. T minus 2. There are 2 T minus 2's. No? No, 3. 3, 4, and 5th. Third answer, fourth answer, fifth answer. Okay. Let's do it. V squared. L squared. T minus 2. Rho. Rho means mass over density, mass over volume. Now you can simplify. M, L minus 1, T minus 2. M, 2 and minus 3. 2 and minus 3 means minus 1. Minus 1. So L to the power minus 1. Then T to the power minus 2. T to the power minus 2. So answer is equal fourth one. 65. This is 63. 64. So what is the answer of 64? 64. Second one. Yes. Good. Others? 64. Similar kind of equations, no? Square root T over M. Where T is the tension of the string and V is the velocity. V is the velocity. What is the dimension of M? Definitely you have to take the square. Take the square. Then if I take the square, V squared means the square of velocity. Square of velocity means L squared T to the power minus 2. Then T. T is a tension. So if it is a tension, what is the dimension of tension, Putta? What is the dimension of tension? If it's a tension, what is the dimension of tension? Dimension of tension is equal to?
Dimension of force.
Yes, very good, very good. Tension is a force. Tension is a force. So dimension of tension should be equal to dimension of force. Puta, very good. M L T minus 2 over M over M. T minus 2 will be cancelled out. Then ML minus 1, no, ML minus 1. So M is equal M. Here L, here L to the power 2. So if I take L to the power 2 here, it will be minus 2 plus 1 minus 1. M to the power minus 1. L to the power minus 1. Then 65. What is the answer for 65? 65. Answer for 65. Fifth one. Good. Others? Yes. Very good. Okay. Here they are. Here the expression. Log Z log I over I naught plus 1 is equal QV over KT. QV over KT. C is a dimensionless constant. C is a dimensionless constant. So if C is a dimensionless constant, you know the log function. Log function doesn't have a dimension, no? Because log function is a numerical value. So this one does not have a dimension. This one does not have a dimension. And according to the question, this one also does not have a dimension. That means left side of this equation does not have a dimension. That means the right hand side, it should have a dimension. No, it should not have a dimension. That means QV over KT, the dimension of QV over KT should be equal to 1. Should be equal to 1 because it doesn't have a dimension. Okay. Actually, I have written this dimensional expression. Okay, dimensional expression. හරියට වඩියනවා නම් මේ විදිහට ස්ක්වයර් බ්‍රැකට් දාන්න ඕනේ. Because this is a MCQ question, no? So I don't want to write exact thing. Okay. Then I have to find the dimension of KT over Q. KT over Q. That means you have to subject KT over Q. So if I subject KT over Q, the remaining one is V, no? Remaining one is V. So V is equal, if I do the cross product here, KT over Q. Therefore, KT over Q is equal to the dimension of V. That means answer number 5. Answer number 5. Actually, this is an exam question. Okay, I don't remember the exam year. Exam question. But the thing is, in that exam, they did not give the value of C. It was not mentioned that the C constant doesn't have a dimension. Okay. Therefore, at that time, all the answers they give correct mark for all the answers. Okay. Then 66. 66. What is the correct answer? 66. Yes. Very good. Others? Look at this. The following equation represents the upward thrust force on a rocket. Then F is a force. Here, M is the mass of the gas burned per second. V is the speed of exhausted gas. P2 is the pressure of the exhausted gas, and P1 is the pressure of the surrounding atmosphere. The dimension of A. Again and again, the factor number 1. The factor 1 ghost. No? ඒක තමයි දෙන්න තියෙන හොඳම question ටික දෙන්න පුළුවන් factor එක පුතේ. හොඳයි. So according to given expression, F is equal to mv plus A times P2 minus P1. P2 minus P1. Okay. So according to the given data, F is a force. So if F is a force, then definitely this entire term should be a force, no? A to the time A times pressure. A times pressure should be a force. So A times pressure should be equal to a force. Should be equal to a force. Sure. Now you can substitute the dimensions of pressure and force. Then you can get the dimension of A. So dimension of A should be equal to the dimension of pressure. Dimension of pressure means M L minus 1 T minus 2. ML minus 1 T minus 2. Then dimension of force M L T minus 2. ML T minus 2. Therefore, M will be cancelled out. T will be cancelled out. The only remaining thing should be equal to L. Then definitely the correct answer should be 3 because it doesn't have M and T. So M will be cancelled out, Puta. T minus 2 to T minus 2 will be cancelled out. The only remaining thing is L minus 1 and L. So if I bring L minus 1, L to the power minus 1 here, it will be plus 1. So plus 1 is okay. Therefore, the correct answer is answer number 3. I have to bring here. Okay. Did you understand, Buddha? Everyone, I need your response. Thank you, others. What about the others? Did you understood? Thank you. $67, no? 67. The change in velocity v of a freely falling object is only proportional to g to the power p and h to the power q, where g is a gravitational acceleration and h is the distance traveled from the point of release. Here, the value of p and q are respectively. What is the answer? What is the answer? Question number 67. What is the answer? Yes, very good. Question number, answer number 1, no? Answer number 1, no? Okay. The velocity of v actually it is better to give the proportionality constant as 1, okay? It is better to give the proportional constant as 1. V now is equal to g to the power p, g to the power p and h to the power q. Okay, here I know v is a velocity, v is a velocity. So the right hand side has lt minus 1. If I write the dimension, of left hand side, it is equal to lt minus 1. And g is gravitational acceleration, so it is an acceleration. So dimension of acceleration is L minus 2. So this one to the power p. Then h is a distance, no? According to the given data, h is a distance, so dimension of h should be equal to L. Okay, you can simplify this one. If I simplify this one, I will get L to the power p, L to the power p into L to the power q. L to the power p into L to the power q means L to the power p plus q. Then t to the power minus 2p. Anybody unknown it natural? What I didn't get to your question. That's why. Oh, yeah, that's why I may say it is better to give the proportional constant is 1. Otherwise, I cannot write this equation. But there's a word that is the freely falling object is only proportional to g to the power p and h to the power q. It is given only proportional to that thing. That means we can take it as 1, okay? Because it is not depending on other factor. That means it is not depending on proportionality constant. Then I can take the proportionality constant as 1. But it is better to give that value. It is better to give that value. Okay. Okay. Do you get my point, Puta? In the question, it is given V is only proportional. V is only proportional to this one. That means it doesn't proportional to any other factor. So I can take K as 1. Otherwise, I think it is better to give that value. Then T to the power minus 2p. Minus 2p. Okay. Then I can equate the powers of equal bases. So if I equate the power of t, here the power of t is minus 1. The right hand side, it has minus 2p. So p should be equal plus half. It should be equal plus half. P should be equal plus half. Then 1. This calculation can be done within your mind. Okay. 1. P plus Q is equal 1. No. If I equate the powers of L, left hand side has 1. Right hand side has P plus Q. P plus Q equal 1. Now I have determined the value of P. It is half. So other part should be half also, no? Actually, we cannot assume that there should be given. Otherwise, we cannot we cannot do the question. Actually, we cannot do the question without the value K. But here there's a single word. What is that? V of the velocity V of the freely falling object is only proportional to G to the power P and H to the power Q. So based on that word, only proportional to, based on that word, we can assume there should not be any other term, because this depends only on these two factors. Okay. Then you can assume K is equal to 1, but otherwise K should be given. The better thing in this question, K should be given. Okay. Then if I equate,
So that means whenever it's mentioned, only we can take the proportional constant as 1.
yes, that's mean we cannot assume the value of proportional constant. But if we are given this kind of word, then we can assume it as 1. But it is not a good thing. Normally in exam questions, it will be given. Because otherwise it will be a questionable one. Because sometimes someone can question about that. Okay. Therefore, for a good question, it should be given. Okay. Then, if I compare the powers of L, right hand side it has 1, left hand side it has 1, right hand side it has P plus Q, P plus Q. P is half. If P is half, Q also half, no? Half plus half, full 1. Half plus full 1, no? Therefore, Q also equal to half. then Q is Q, then PC equal to half and Q is equal to half. Answer number 1. 68. What is the answer? Very famous question. Yes. Light years. We use light years to measure distance, no? Distance. Therefore, the dimension of light year should be equal to the dimension of distance. That means L. L. So the correct answer is fourth one, L. 69. 69. Which couple of the following couples do not have dimensions? 69. What is the answer? Both should not have dimension. Second one. Very good. Second one. Density has a dimension. Refractive density doesn't have relative density doesn't have dimension, but density has. Power has a dimension, but efficiency doesn't. Absolute humidity, it has a dimension. Velocity gradient, it has a dimension. Specific heat capacity has a dimension. Heat capacity, it has a dimension. So the correct answer is answer number 2, refractive index and coefficient of friction. Both doesn't have dimension. Do not have dimensions. 70. So what is the answer for question number 70? Question number 70. Yes. Very good. Fourth one, no? Question number 70. A particle of mass m is attached to the lower end of a helical spin of a spin constant k and oscillate vertically. Its oscillatory frequency f is given by the following equation. Here, T is a dimensionless constant. The value of x and y are respectively. The spring constant එක දීලා තියෙනවා මොකක්ද කියලා. මේවා නම් පොඩ්ඩක් ඔළුවේ තියාගන්න ඕනි ඒවා. The spring constant. So how to find a spring constant? You have to use this equation, no? F is equal to the spring constant into elongated length. Elongated length. We have discussed this one. Okay. You will learn this equation in mechanics, but until then, you have to remember this one. F is equal kx. That means force, applied force is equal to the spring constant into x. Therefore, if I subject k, it is equal F over x. F over x. So I can find the dimension of k, m l t minus 2 over x means l. X means l. L to L will be cancelled out. So dimension of k is equal m t minus 2. mt minus 2. Okay. Then we are given this equation. Frequency f is equal c times m to the power x, m to the power x, a to the power y. We have to find x and y. So with the, now we can substitute dimensional formulas here. Dimensional formulas. Frequency. What is the dimension of frequency? It is t minus 1, no? T minus 1. T minus 1. C doesn't have dimension, so I don't want to write that one. M. M is mass. M is the mass. So mass into x. K. K is spring constant. So I have found that dimension mt minus 2. So mt minus 2 the power y. Now I can simplify. Now I can simplify. I don't want to simplify. Look at this. T to the power minus 2 into y. That means minus 2y. Minus 2y should be equal to minus 1. Yeah? Minus 2y here. Minus 2y should be equal to minus 1 here. Therefore, y should be equal to half. Y should be equal to half plus half. Y should be equal to plus half. Then m plus y, no? M plus y. Here, the power of m is m to the power x plus y. X plus y. And t to the power minus 2y. You can see the power of m is x plus y here. The power of m here is 0 because there is no any m value. There is no any m value. Therefore, the power of m is equal to 0. Is equal to 0. Therefore, x plus y should be equal to 0. X plus y should be equal to 0. You have determined the value of x, y. Then x is then equal to minus half. Minus half. So x is equal to minus half. Y is equal to plus half. So the answer is answer number 4. Answer number 4. Okay. Quickly do 84 to 90. 6 questions. 6 questions. There are 6 questions. 84 to 90. 84 to 90. Within 10 minutes. Please complete this stuff. 84 to 90. Okay. Okay, shall we start? Question number 84. What is the answer? What is the answer? Question number 84. Second one. Very good. Second one. Okay. Question number 84. Same argument which you have done in earlier question, no? In here, we are asked to find the dimension of A. The previous question we have found the unit of A, no? Unit of A. According to the given data, we can clearly see P and A over V square are added to each other. So both should have same dimension, because we cannot add different physical quantities. We cannot add or subtract different physical quantities. So this dimension of this one and dimension of this one should be equal. That means dimension of pressure, P means pressure, no? Yes. Dimension of pressure ml minus T minus 2 over dimension of A over V square. V means volume, no? Volume squared. Volume squared means L to the power 6. L to the power 6. Equally. So if I bring L to the power 6 here, 6 minus 1 means 5. So M L to the power 5 T to the power minus 2. T to the power minus 2. Okay. Then question number 85. What is the answer? 85. 85, what is the answer? Third one. Others? 85. What is the answer? Actually, you don't want to calculate this one. We are asked to find the dimension of P. We are asked to find dimension of P. Look at this. We will give a lot of informations, but finally they ask to find dimension of B. Look at this. Dimension of B should be equal to dimension of B. Here, V and B are subtracted, no? V and B are subtracted. Therefore, there is a expression V minus B. V minus B. That means V and B are subtracted. That means V and B should have same physical same dimension. Both should be same physical quantities. Therefore, V and B, dimension of V and B should be equal. Dimension of V and dimension of B should be equal. V is a volume. V is a volume. So B should be volume 2. B should be volume 2. Therefore, the dimension of B is equal A to the power 3. A to the power 3. Other data, actually, it is not required, no? But it will be required for 86, question number 86. The dimension of R, here. Question number 86 asks dimension of R. What is the correct answer? What is the correct answer for 86? Here R. Yes. 86. Yes. Okay. How to get that? Okay, look at this, Puta. Okay, in this equation, P plus A over V squared times V minus B is equal RT. Is equal RT. Look at this. Now I want to find dimension of R. In this case, I have to expand these two expressions. But you don't want to expand all the terms. Just do it for two terms, P and V. If you calculate, multiply P and V, you will have P into V. Therefore, all the other terms should be equal to this physical quantity, as this is an equation. So you don't want to expand all the terms, okay? PV. Therefore, PV is the multiplication of two terms. As this is an equation, all the terms of this equation should have this dimension, Puta, this dimension. Therefore, dimension of RT should be equal to this one. Dimension of RT should be equal to this one. So dimension of PV should be equal to RT. Now you can simplify this one. V is a pressure, V is a velocity, V is a volume, no? Volume. If it is a pressure, I can write the dimension of pressure. Dimension of pressure is M, L minus 1, P minus 2. Dimension of volume is equal to L to the power 3. Is equal R into T. Okay, here 1T to 1T will be cancelled out. Sorry. Not cancelling out, okay? Here T is not temperature, sorry, T is temperature, okay? T is temperature. We have to take the dimension of temperature as theta because it is given. T is a temperature. Okay, now you can simplify. M is here, M is here, M is here. L to the power minus 1 plus 3, minus 1 plus 3, minus 1 plus 3 means plus 2, plus 2. Then t to the power minus 2. Here there is theta, so I have to bring that to the left hand side. So if I bring theta to the left hand side, it will be theta minus 1. That is equal. That is equal. So my answer would be m L to the power 2, t to the power minus 2, and theta to power minus 1. Answer is answer 2. 87? 87. What is the answer? 87. Yes, very good. Very good. Yes. If you remember the equation, actually you can get the answers without doing any calculations. If you remember the equation, you can get the answers without any calculations. Force. Look at this. '87. Force is equal to some C1 into acceleration. C1 into acceleration. If you know the famous equation for force, force is equal to MA, no? So if there is A, then definitely other quantity should be a mass, So C1, actually C1 should be a mass, no? According to F equal MA equation. Then again, look at this. V over T. V means velocity, Buddha. This is a velocity and this is a time. This is a velocity and this is a time. Velocity over time means again it is the acceleration. Again it is acceleration. Therefore, again, C2 should be a mass. C2 should be a mass too. C2 should be a mass too. Therefore, mass over mass means dimensionless physical quantity. Dimensionless physical quantity. Okay. Look at this. F equal C1A plus C2 V over T. V over T. Okay. I can write it as this way. C1A plus C2 V over T. V over T means velocity over time. Velocity over time means it is again it is an acceleration type of acceleration. Acceleration into something plus acceleration into something. If you know the equation about Newton's second law, F is equal to ma. F is equal to ma. Therefore, if there is a, that means if there is an acceleration, definitely other quantity should be a mass. This one should be a mass. This one should be a mass. Definitely, both should be masses. Therefore, if I take the ratio between these two, the ratio should be 1. The ratio should be 1. Sorry, 1 means no dimension. 1 means no dimension. 88. 88. What is the answer for 88? 88. 88 answer. First one. First one. Very good. Again, we can use the first factor. First factor. What is the first factor of dimensional analysis? If there is an equation, both each and every term should have same dimension. So G.A. over 2 pi, G.A. over 2 pi should have dimension of V square. Dimension of V square. Dimension of V square. 2 pi doesn't have dimension, no Buddha. Therefore, I can simply write this one. 88. V squared equal G.A. plus G.A. over 2A F plus 2 pi R P 2 pi R P dimension of A. Dimension of A. Actually, we can consider this part. No, this part should be equal to V squared. No, the dimension of this part should be equal to V squared, because if it is an equation, all the terms should have same dimension. So this part should be equal to V squared. You know, 2 pi doesn't have dimension. That means V squared should be equal to G.A. 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 Therefore, dimension of G.A. should be equal to V squared. I have to find A, no? L T minus 2 into A should be equal L square T minus 2. L square T minus 2. So T minus 2 to T minus 2 will be cancelled out. L to 1L will be cancelled out. So dimension of A is equal. Dimension of A is equal. 89th one. 89th. Third one. Yes, third one. Yes, good. 89th. V is a velocity, M is a mass, X is a displacement. Dimension of A and B. Okay. Okay, we know V is a work done. No? $89. P is equal AV square. AV square BMX. Okay. According to our first method, according to our first factor, each and every terms in an equation should have same dimension. According to that, I can write dimension of V should be equal to dimension of AV square. AV square. Work done, amount of work done. Therefore, P is equal amount of work done. Amount of work done. Amount of work done. Alright. මගෙන් අහන්නේ මොකද්ද? Dimension and okay. Piece amount of work done. Therefore, I can write it as work done means M L minus 1 T minus 2 AB square. AB squared. AB squared means L squared T minus 2. So T minus 2 will be cancelled out. Wait. Sorry, this one L, not amount of work done, not pressure, okay? Not pressure, piece, not pressure. Piece amount of work done, put amount of work done is L squared. L squared. So L squared will be cancelled out, Puta. Look at this. L to L squared cancel out. So dimension of A should be equal to A. It should be equal to A. So if it is M, there's another one, no? 1 and 3. 1 and 3. All the others can be removed, but 1 and 3 they are. One is LT minus 1, that means velocity. Other one is LT minus 2, that is acceleration. Okay. Then I can write again, this one is equal to BMX, Puta, BMX. Okay. M means mass. X means displacement. Therefore, then I can write P ml square T minus 2 is equal dimension of B into mass means M, X means distance, L, ml. So if I write this one, I can cancel out, M to M will be cancelled out, 1L to 1L will be cancelled out, then B equal L T minus 2. Dimension of B, okay? Equal L T minus 2. Okay. That means answer number 3. Question number 90. What is the answer? Question number 90. 1. Yes, very good. Okay. We are given this kind of equation, no? T times square root 1 over v squared over c squared is equal x times v over c squared. V over c squared. First. Look at this. Okay. Okay. I know this one. I know this thing is a number, no? This thing is a number. 1 minus this one is a number. Because 1 is a number, therefore this one is also a number. This part is number. Therefore, dimension of left-hand side is equal to dimension of right. Because this is a number, therefore it doesn't have any dimension. So dimension of left-hand side is equal to the dimension of this one. That means t. So dimension of that part is equal to t. Is equal. Both are velocities. No, both are velocities. Velocities, both are velocities. So this one to this one will be cancelled out. Okay, as a dimension. Okay, as a dimension, not a numerical value. As a dimension, both can be cancelled out. So I can write only one value. So x over c. C means it is a velocity, Buddha, velocity. So LT minus 1 x over LT minus 1. So if I subject x, I have to bring those here. That means x is equal L t minus to t plus 1 will be cancelled out. T minus 1 to t plus 1 will be cancelled out. So dimension is equal to it. Okay. Everybody. Do you get my point? I think you have done great work. Your questions are all accurate, as I see. Therefore, very good. Up to now, do you have any questions to ask? Do you have any questions to ask? You have to complete all the questions before you sit for the exam. You have to do all the questions, Mutta. Then, if there's any questions to be cleared with me, please ask from me. Okay? Because exam will be little bit hard, but if you answer the questions like this, it won't be very hard. Okay? Therefore, first of all, you should complete this Tute. If you have any question, regarding this, regarding any matter in this Tute, please ask from me. Okay? එතකොට ඔයගොල්ලෝ කෙලින්ම next week එකේ exam එකටම තමයි පුතේ එන්නේ. මොකද Sunday class එක නැති නිසා. ඒක නිසා ඔයගොල්ලන්ට ලොකු time එකක් තියෙනවා මේ හරියට පාඩම් කරන්න. මතක තියාගන්න මේක හරියට පාඩම් කරලා ලියන්න. හරියට මම study කරලා ලියන්න කියලා කිව්වේ. මොකද අනිවාර්යෙන් අපි අපේ level එක දැන් බලා ගන්න ඕනේ. අපි level එක බලා ගන්න ඕනේ. ඒක මුල ඉඳලම අපි evaluate කරමින් තමයි අපි යන්න ඕනේ. ඒ නිසා හොඳට මතක තියාගන්න ඒක ලියන්නම් ඔයාලා ලියන්න එපා. හරියට study කරලා හොඳටම ලියන්න. එතකොට ඔයාලට පුළුවන් ඔයාගේ මොකක් හරි mistake එකක් තියෙනවා නම් ඔයාගේ මොකක් හරි මේ correction එකක් තියෙනවා නම් කරන්න ඒක හදාගන්න පුළුවන්. හරිද? නැත්නම් ඔයගොල්ලෝ ගිහිල්ලා වරද්දන්න කෙලින්ම exam එකට. ඒ නිසා අනිවාර්යෙන් හොඳටම ලියන්න. ඒ කියන්නේ අර exam එකකට term test exam එකකට නිකන් study කරනවා කියලා හිතාගෙන ස්ටඩි කරලා ඒක ගන්න පුළුවන් මැක්සිමම් එක අරගන්න. එතකොට ඔයගොල්ලන්ට හම්බ වෙනවා 2 hour MCQ paper එකක්. Then after that we will have essay question paper. Those kind of paper you will have those kind of papers. Anything. Not anything special. Okay. මෙතන ගොඩක් වෙලාවට Google Forms තමයි හම්බ වෙන්නේ. Google Form එකක ඔයගොල්ලෝ අප්ලෝඩ් වෙනවා. එතකොට කට්ටියම එකම වෙලාවේ ලොග් වෙලා එකම වෙලාවේ වැඩේ කරලා ඉවර වෙන්න ඕනේ. මම පොඩ්ඩක් සිංගල් මීඩියම් කට්ටියෙන් අහන්නම්. මොකද ඒගොල්ලොත් එකම වෙලාවේ ලොග් වුණා නම් වැඩේ ලේසි. මොකද එකපාර එක්සෑම් එක ඉවරයි. හරි. ඒකට ඒගොල්ලන්ටත් Sunday morning පුළුවන් නම් කට්ටියම Sunday morning ම කරලා දාන්න. හරි. හොඳයි. Do you have any questions to ask? Do you have any questions to ask? No? Okay, Buta. Then we can complete our class today. Okay. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Good night, Buta.